Welcome to the universe of the mind. You'll be amazed at the things that you might find in a galaxy far, far away. The secrets of our world will be exposed today.
Have you ever looked up at the stars and wondered, are we alone? It's a question that has captivated humanity for millennia. But what if the answer isn't out there, but right here, buried in our own ancient past? Today, we are rediving deep into one of the most fascinating and controversial subjects in ancient history, the Anunnaki. We'll approach this not as a myth, but as a scientific inquiry, examining the evidence and asking the hard questions. So, who were the Anunnaki? The name first appears in ancient Mesopotamian texts, specifically from the Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian, and Babylonian cultures. These are some of the oldest written records we have. In these texts, the Anunnaki are described as a group of deities, often associated with the heavens and the underworld. The name itself is thought to mean those of royal blood or princely offspring. The most detailed accounts come from epic poems like the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation myth, and the Epic of Gilgamesh. Here, the Anunnaki are portrayed as powerful beings who played a crucial role in the creation of the universe, the earth, and even humanity itself. This is where things get really interesting. Now let's bring in the modern interpretation that has sparked so much debate. This perspective was popularized by author Zecharia Sitchin in his book series, The Earth Chronicles. Sitchin, who claimed to have translated ancient Sumerian cuneiform tablets, proposed a radical theory. He argued that the Anunnaki were not gods in the mythological sense, but were actually flesh and blood extraterrestrial beings from a planet in our own solar system. According to Sitchin's translations, this planet, which he called Nibiru, has a long elliptical orbit that brings it into our inner solar system only once every 3,600 years. He proposed that roughly 450,000 years ago, the inhabitants of Nabaratha Anunnaki traveled to Earth. What was their mission? To mine gold? Why gold? The theory suggests their home planet's atmosphere was deteriorating, and they needed gold to create a protective shield of fine gold dust to repair it. A planetary-scale geoengineering project. This brings us to the next, even more startling part of the story: the creation of humanity. The texts, as interpreted by Sitchin, describe the Anunnaki miners growing tired of the grueling labor in the mines of southern Africa. They rebelled. To solve this labor dispute, the Anunnaki's chief scientist, a figure named Enki, proposed a solution. They would create a worker. Using genetic engineering, they would upgrade the existing hominids on Earth like Homo erectus by mixing their own Anunnaki DNA with that of the native primate. The result? Homo sapiens us. We were allegedly created to be slaves, to toil in the mines and serve our creators. This is a mind-blowing concept. It reframes the entire story of human origins, suggesting we are a hybrid species, engineered for a purpose by an advanced alien race. The biblical stories of creation, the "let us make man in our image," suddenly take on a whole new technological meaning. The gods of antiquity were not supernatural beings, but advanced astronauts and geneticists. So, what's the evidence? Proponents of this theory point to several things. First, the Sumerian texts themselves. They contain incredibly detailed knowledge for their time, including lists of planets in our solar system in their correct order, and information about celestial bodies that weren't officially discovered until centuries later with modern telescopes. How did an ancient civilization know this? They also point to sudden, unexplained leaps in human development. Around 200,000 to 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens appeared, a significant and rapid evolutionary jump from our predecessors. Civilization itself seemed to explode out of nowhere in Sumer around 6,000 years ago, complete with advanced knowledge of agriculture, mathematics, astronomy, law, and metallurgy. Was this a natural progression, or was knowledge given to us by our creators? Then there are the archaeological anomalies. Megalithic structures around the world, like the pyramids of Giza or Pumapunku in Bolivia, are built with a precision and scale that seem to defy the technological capabilities of their time. Some stones weigh hundreds of tons and are cut with laser-like accuracy. Could this be evidence of Anunnaki technology? Let's be clear. This is a fringe theory, and mainstream science and archaeology have major counterarguments. First and foremost is the translation of the texts. The vast majority of Sumerian scholars and linguists disagree with Sitchin's interpretations. They argue that he took poetic and mythological language literally and often mistranslated words to fit his narrative. For them, the Anunnaki were simply part of a complex religious pantheon, similar to the gods of Olympus in Greek mythology. They were metaphors for natural forces, not literal space travelers. What about the astronomical knowledge? Skeptics argue that ancient peoples were keen observers of the night sky, and their knowledge, while impressive, was developed over thousands of years of observation. There's no need to invoke alien teachers, and the evolutionary jump. Modern genetics and the fossil record provide a strong case for a natural, albeit rapid evolution of Homo sapiens in Africa. There's no genetic evidence of alien DNA in our genome. The junk DNA that was once a mystery is now understood to have regulatory functions. Everything in our genetic code can be traced back to terrestrial origins. As for the megalithic structures, while incredibly impressive, modern engineers and experimental archaeologists have shown that these feats could have been achieved with the tools and manpower available at the time. It would have required immense ingenuity, organization, and generations of labor, but not necessarily alien power tools. So, where does that leave us? We have two competing narratives. On one hand, the scientific consensus, a story of natural human evolution and the development of civilization through human ingenuity. On the other, a radical alternative history of alien intervention and genetic engineering. Based on a controversial interpretation of ancient texts, it's tempting to dismiss the Anunnaki theory as pure science fiction, but the questions it raises are important. Why did so many ancient cultures, separated by vast distances, share similar stories of sky gods who came down to Earth and taught humanity? From the Mesopotamian Anunnaki to the South American Virikaka to the Native American Star People, the theme is remarkably consistent. Is this all just a coincidence of the human imagination? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Maybe the stories aren't about literal aliens, but are a way our ancestors tried to explain monumental events. A brilliant leader or a genius inventor might have been described as a god. A catastrophic flood or a meteor strike could have been interpreted as divine punishment. The Anunnaki story forces us to confront the limits of our knowledge and to keep an open mind. It challenges us to look at ancient myths not as childish fairy tales, but as potential historical records cloaked in metaphor. Whether the Anunnaki were actual visitors from another planet or powerful metaphors in the human psyche, their story continues to resonate. It speaks to our deepest questions about who we are and where we come from. It's a puzzle with pieces scattered across ancient ruins, clay tablets, and even our own DNA. While the scientific community has not found conclusive proof for the extraterrestrial hypothesis, the debate is far from over. The search for answers continues, driving archaeologists to dig deeper and astronomers to scan the skies. What do you think? Were the Anunnaki ancient gods, alien astronauts, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's greatest mysteries. If you enjoyed this exploration, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next investigation. Stay curious.
Welcome to the universe of the mind. You'll be amazed of the things that you might find. In a galaxy far, far away, the secrets of our world will be exposed today. mind. To the universe of the mind. You'll be amazed of the things that you might find in a galaxy far, far away. The secrets of our world will be exposed today. All is never what it seems. Is a world created by our dreams? Are we living in a simulation? Is the moon an alien and space station? Quantum buzz, nobody knew just what it was. To this day we still don't know, but we won't stop exploring though. Welcome to the universe of the mind.
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 Mind. To the universe of the mind, you'll be amazed of the things that you might find.